A major European columnist is openly arguing Europe should start preparing to separate itself from the United States because of Donald Trump. Not it should be preparing to manage Trump. Not Europe needs to know how to work around Trump, but simply distance from the United States altogether. Now, I know that a lot of the MAGAs love to go, we don't give a shit what Europe thinks. These sissy Europeans with their espresso and bud, that we don't care. Okay, well, listen, most of the world does care. And the fact that this is what is now openly being argued should really get your attention. Now, the argument is very simple, and it's a devastating argument. Europe is watching Trump flirt with authoritarianism, territorial conquest, including Greenland and other places, and watching Trump's open contempt for democratic norms. And they are rightly asking, is the United States still a reliable democratic partner at all? It's not a theoretical question. It's right now, under Trump, is the United States a reliable democratic partner? Trump has not only talked about taking Greenland one way or another, he has sent military into Venezuela and kidnapped the president there with no authorization. Trump's allies are openly hostile to liberal democracy, to international institutions. We don't know if Trump would actually allow the United States to meet its requirements under NATO shared defense if another NATO nation were to be attacked. He's kind of been like, yeah, maybe some of them got to pay more, though. I'm not really sure. And so there is a post-World War II order that kept Europe relatively stable for decades, which now Trump has completely reversed. And it's the trade wars, it's the NATO skepticism, it's admiring strong men. And from Europe's perspective, it's not just that the United States has become sort of unreliable, it's actually become dangerous potentially. And the part that should really raise people's eyebrows is that Russia is laughing. This is this is Putin's best possible outcome. Fractured democracies and Western allies suspicious of each other. The US at odds with Europe is great for Russia. And all Russia had to do was kind of just go along with the idea of putting a corrupt, narcissistic felon back into power. You don't need tanks. You don't need an invasion, just chaos, disinformation, a willing accomplice. And they have done it expertly. Now, I need to be frank with you about another aspect of this. Americans love to externalize the blame. It's always someone else's fault. Nobody forced this on us at the end of the day. The American public was warned explicitly over and over. Trump got one term during which we saw what he did. He made clear his second term would be even more unhinged. Kamala Harris said it openly and clearly. Trump is a president of hate and war. It's a straightforward assessment. And what happened? Half the country didn't argue the substance. They said, oh, Kamala Harris is bad because of this, that there was racism, there was sexism, there was all sorts of stuff. And now look at where we are. Trump's own VP this week falsely accused the mayor of New York City, Zohran Mamdani, of wanting to kill all whites. I mean, just completely made up stuff, incitement with no evidence. And what do Americans do? It's like mild outrage, a few tweets, then back to scrolling. Look at what happened with the Maduro thing. Look at what's going on with all of these. This is like a sleepwalking that is going on. Now compare that, for example, to South Korea, where the president attempted a coup, and within a week he was out, removed, prosecuted. That is a society that understands democracy doesn't survive on vibes alone. You need consequences. And meanwhile, in the United States, we've normalized the unthinkable, and half the country excuses it. We both sides it. We wait for institutions to save us, and half the country is just like shrugging, and the other half is understandably exhausted. So when Europeans start openly debating, do we need to decouple from the United States? Do we need to separate militarily? Do we need to separate economically and strategically? It's not that they're being anti-American. They are self-preserving and realizing what is going on. It's not tone that will collapse alliances, not normally anyway. Its values start to diverge. And it's hard to see more divergent values than those which Donald Trump is putting forward now. Now, there's a final uncomfortable truth that bears some mentioning. YouTube creators from Europe are increasingly asking, does the United States even still believe in limits on power? Like I've seen a bunch of European YouTubers who are saying, forget about Trump's personality and his bluster and his personal ambitions. Does the country under Trump even believe that the desires of others matter, or is it just whatever Trump wants? And terrifyingly, in his interview earlier this week with Tony DeCopel, and last week he said it also, Trump has said really the only limit is his morality. If pushed, he'll go, yeah, courts, sure, the Constitution, maybe. But we have a situation where the democratic world is preparing for a future where the United States does not believe that there are limits on its power, because Donald Trump doesn't seem to believe that. And it's terrifyingly sad that Europe is now saying, do we need to just get away from this alliance with the US? Terrifying, terrifying. But I can't say I don't understand it, because if I was in their position, I would probably be thinking the same thing. If you were shopping for a new mattress, I would recommend you start by looking at Helix Sleep, the mattress I've been sleeping on for years, the only one that I recommend because they custom tailor it to your needs. I took their sleep quiz. It took a minute or two. I said, I like to sleep on my stomach. I tend to feel hotter in the middle of the night rather than colder. I like medium firm. And Helix just nailed it, matched me with the perfect mattress. Most people don't even know where to start when you're looking for a mattress, and Helix just makes it easy. There is really no substitute for the mattress that's right for you. Your body will thank you. Delivery was fast, setup was easy. You do get 100 nights to try it out. They'll even take away your old mattress. Right now, Helix has a special offer only for my audience. Get 27% off everything on their site when you go to helixsleep.com/Pakman. The link is in the description.